Good morning, Pilgrim. I just got off the phone with one of my good friends in New Delhi, India. The temperature there is 77 degrees and it's raining. Uh, Here in Hillsboro, it's 58, sunny. So that means it'll probably get in the 80s today. But I'm glad I'm not in New Delhi. Oh, wow. 77 and raining. That's humid. I hate humid. I remember when I lived in Nebraska, the further east I went, I ended up in North Platte. The further east I went, the more humid it got. Glad I didn't get as far as Omaha. Yeah, I used to truck. I trucked all the way across the United States. 47, 46, 47 states. Yep. Canada, just across into Mexico. Anyway, I've been in many different climates and I hated humidity. Yeah, I had to talk to my friends in New Delhi because my computer was on the fritz this morning again. Hate that. Can't get anything done. I can't see you folks. It's good to see you. Anyway, on with our devotion. That's what's important. I'm going to read from 2 Timothy chapter 2, 14 through 19. Remind them of these things and charge them before God not to quarrel about words, which does no good, but only ruins the hearers. Do your best to present yourself to God as one approved, a worker who has no need to be ashamed, rightly handling the word of truth, but stay away from an irreverent babble, for it will lead people into and more and ever more ungodliness, and their talk will spread like gangrene. Among them are Hymenaeus and Philetus, who have swerved from the truth, saying that the resurrection has already happened. They are upsetting the faith of some, but God's firm foundation stands, bearing this seal. The Lord knows those who are his. Let everyone who names the name of the Lord depart from iniquity. And this sermon today goes right along with that. 25th of June, preached on 31st of May, 1857, by Charles Spurgeon. The sound in the mulberry trees. He read from 2 Samuel 5:24. When thou hearest the sound of a going in the tops of the mulberry trees, that then thou shalt bestir thyself, and then shall the Lord go out before thee to smite the host of the Philistines. And so David went, and so the Lord smote the Philistines. Over and over again. Yeah, Pilgrim, if any of your acquaintances have been in the house of God, if you have induced them to go there, and you think there is some little good doing, but you do not know, not sure, take care of that little bit. Don't destroy it. Don't take it out of the person. It may be God has used us as a foster mother to bring up his child, so that this little one may be brought up in faith, and this newly converted soul may be strengthened and edified. But I'll tell you, many of you Christians do a great deal of mischief by what you say when going home. Yeah, you brought somebody to church with you to get him saved, and then on your way home you start talking. You and your wife, or you and your buddies, you start talking. A man once said that when he was a lad, he heard a certain sermon from a minister, and he felt deeply impressed under it. Tears stole down his cheeks, and he thought within himself, I will go home to pray. On the road home, he fell into the company of two members of the church. One of them began saying, Well, how did you enjoy the sermon? The other said, I do not think he was quite sound on such and such a point. Well, said the other, I thought he was rather off his guard, or something of that sort. And one pulled one part of the minister's sermon to pieces, and another the other, until, said the young man, before I had gone many yards with him, I had forgotten all about it, and all the good I thought I had received seemed swept away by those two men. Those two who seemed afraid lest I should get any hope, for they were just pulling that sermon to pieces which would have brought me to my knees. How often have we done the same? People will say, "What did you think of that sermon?" I gently tell them nothing at all, and if there is any fault in it, and very likely there is, it is better not to speak of it at all, for some may get some good from it. Well, Pilgrim, yeah, if you must have the sermon for Sunday lunch, beware of devouring someone's faith along with it. Reminds me, Sunday lunch. Pilgrim, why do Christians who shouldn't be working on the Sabbath, they go to church and they don't work on the Sabbath? They go to work. They go to church. And then after church is over, they go to some restaurant and have lunch. What about the other people? Shouldn't they get the day off? Shouldn't they perhaps be in church instead of working? This is a great puzzle to some. It's not to me, but it's a great puzzle to some. And I'm going to read from Mark 4, verse 4. This is what happens when we tear the pastor's sermon apart. When we're in front of somebody who hasn't spent any time in the Bible and really knows nothing. They're a babe. They're not even that yet. They just heard their first sermon, and we start talking, and we tear it apart. Listen to Mark 4:4. And as he sowed, some seed fell along the path. And the birds, you and me, we came along and devoured it. We tore it to bits. Took it right away from the guy. Verse 15. And these are the ones along the path where the word is sown. When they hear, Satan immediately comes, takes it away, the word that is sown in them. How often do we work for Satan instead of God, instead of Jesus? How often? So let us be careful. Read James about the tongue. Chapter 4, I think it is. Not certain. I forget these things. I'm an old guy, you know. Anyway, God bless, Pilgrim. Have a blessed, blessed, blessed day.